what you not gonna do, Justice, is play in our good Bible to explain your BS on this show. What you not gonna do, Justice, is play in our good Bible. What you not gonna do, okay? Don't be quoting Jeremiah 29:11 up on here to explain why you full of it. Don't do that. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Brandon Yvonne channel. Of course, I'm your girl, Brandon Yvonne. I have missed y'all for Ready to Love Friday nights. So I am super excited to get into tonight's episode. This is season 6, episode 7 of Ready to Love, Miami season, y'all. The title was A Little Help from My Friends. Before we get into this video, don't forget to click that like button, the comment button, share. Don't forget to subscribe and then drop your name in the comments and let me know you subscribe. Let me know where you're from. Shout me out. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. I did do a Queen Sugar video, and if you haven't watched my Queen Sugar review for the latest season and episode of Queen Sugar, head on over to my channel and watch that after you watch this video, of course. Okay, so I am back, y'all. Okay, we'll be doing our Saturday night shows tomorrow as well. I'm so happy to be back for Ready to Love. I had to miss last week, but y'all know it's Labor Day weekend. I was out here in these streets. I was having a good time. Weekend just got jam-packed, and I didn't want to do the video late in the week. So anyway, I'm back, y'all. I hope y'all missed me. I missed y'all so much. Let's get into this episode, though. So the episode, you know, the girls, they had to bring their friends on, right? So they all go down to Tommy's lounge, and Tommy said, you know, this week the power's in the women's hands to eliminate one of the men. You know, he said, why don't you get your friends, you know, this time really take your friends' advice. See what your friends think of the fellas, if they're here for love or not. And, you know, we're going to come back and deliberate in a week and see who's really ready for love. So, the episode starts out with Jamila. Is her name Jamala or Jamila? I think it's Jamala's date with Randall. So she goes to one of her friend's house. One of her sorority sisters and a friend of hers that she also called like a blood sister, but I don't think they're really related. Anyway, so they're at the girl's house, and then Jamala always be looking cute, by the way. Anywho, I was also wondering if she like an AKA. I'm curious what sorority she in. So anyway, Randall came down to the house in his hoochie daddy shorts. He was looking good. Hey, Randall. So anyway, he came down, and so he was sitting real close with Jamala. You know, he was saying that it feels like she is his best friend, and she was like, oh, we besties, and he's like, we was till you did that. But he was saying, you know, they both were saying how it feels so natural, it feels like home, you know, it feels good. And he does, in my opinion, he seems to be the closest to Jamala. Like, he seems like he likes Tranika, he likes Kayla, but to me, he likes Jamala the most, in my opinion. Okay, let me know what y'all think in the comments, because maybe my opinion is not your opinion. So I want to know your opinion. Anyway, the friends are, you know, asking him different questions. They're asking him if he played basketball because he's so tall and all that. They're talking about that. And so then they're like, did you leave an ex-girlfriend in D.C.? Like, are you on the run? Are you escaping? Jamala was like, oh, y'all asking good questions. I didn't even think of it. And he was like, no. And then they were laughing and joking about Miami Heat basketball team. And he's like, I don't know about all that. I ain't switching to the Heat. So then the friend was like, well, you're going to have to get out for my husband come in. And so Randall liked that the friend was comfortable enough to joke with him in that way to kick him out the house. So he really liked that. And Jamala walked him out to the car. They already loved this season walking everybody out to the car, we noticed. So anyway, Jamala came back in the house. She asked her friends, you know, what do you think? They really, really liked him. They were like, I guess, they were just joking with her. They really, really like him. And I like Randall and Jamala together too. I hope it does work out. I hope it's genuine. I hope he's not just being a player, because she don't have no other options right now. I don't see her really connecting with anybody else. So that's my only concern for Jamala, is that she would spread her wings, but at this point, I don't really know who else would be a good fit for her on the show. Actually, nobody else on the show is really good fit for her, so I don't know what to tell you, Jamala girl. Anyway, let's see. Let's get on down to Kadian's date with Swaazy. And I may go out of order with the dates, y'all, but we know we're going to cover it all over here. So anyway, Kadian I was very disappointed with this. Okay, first of all, so Katie brings her friend. I don't remember the friend's name. I don't remember nobody's friend name on the show except for Tranika's friend, Doctor, was it Jeanette, and her friend pilot Jessica. We're gonna get into them. So anyway, because that was the best part of the show. So Katie bring her friend on the show to meet up with Swaazy, and so they're just having a small talk, and so. The girl's asking, Katie's friends ask Swaazy, like, what do you like about Katie? And he's like, well, look at her. She's beautiful. And they're like, well, there's plenty of pretty girls in Miami. Like, Katie and her friend was doing tag team back again to Swaazy. They was like, Katie and his friend is on the same energy Katie and be on. And they was just ready to grill him into dust and make him feel this small. And Swaazy wasn't having it, okay? That's why he stormed off. So anyway, they were like, what else do you like? And he's like, dang, like, okay. And so then she was like, okay, so, how has your dating scene? Are you a serial dater? Are you on a bunch of dating apps and stuff? And then she's like, you're not one of them guys on a bunch of apps, are you? He was like, well, I do got apps, though. I got apps. So she was like, okay, so what kind of girls you be like on the apps? And so then he was like, oh yeah, I've been, dating different type of girls. And so then, I guess Katie said something, I don't know if she made the comment in that moment or the next moment about him not dating black girls. And so then the girl was like, oh, you're not dating black girls? So she was like, so how many, because he said he'd been dating the last 3 years. He's been single the last 3 years. So she was like, well, how many of those girls in the last 3 years have been black girls? And he said none of them. And then he was like, dang, like they was just getting on him. And they was like, oh, so you not dating black girls? Like, what's up with that? And so then Swaazy's like, man, like, I don't know how you could say that. Like, that's not true. In his confessional, he said the mother of his daughter is black. His daughter is black. His mama is black. Like, how could she say that? Katie and Liz is like, let's be very clear. You told me you was only dating Latina girls for the past few years. And so that's where that's coming from. And so he was like, that's, yeah, I'm opening my horizon. But he was saying basically he don't have no type. Like, everybody his type. Now, my thing is this. Katie kind of, in my opinion, set Swaazy up for to fail with her friend. Like, I want the girl to get to the nitty gritty for me and see what I'm not seeing, but I'm not gonna like prepare the meat for the slaughter, so to say. You know what I mean? Like, Katie was seasoning him up so that girl could grill him or barbecue him, since we barbecue people on this show. Like, she set him up for the fail with her friend. Like, that just is not right, in my opinion. Now, if he really did say, like, he was only dating Latin girls for a minute, like, that's not right. But, we don't know all of the story on that. We don't know all the context on that. I hope that's not what was going on. Maybe he was trying to broaden his horizons from the black girls. I don't know. I don't necessarily like it. I hope he can explain himself better on the reunion. I hope that he didn't make a conscious decision to say, I'm only going to date Latin girls, because that's kind of like, we side on you, like, what's up with that? But yeah, it was just a mess. So Swaazy got tired of it. He was like, this girl getting on my nerves. And then Katie was like, eat your food. He's like, he's not hungry right now. And Katie was drinking Charisse. So anyway, because Charisse was talking about her drinking later on. So anyway, and then he was like, I don't understand, like, why you doing all this? And she was like, oh, you really mad? And even in Katie's confession, she was like, he was getting so mad. He was getting so angry. Like, she was laughing and smiling and reveling in him getting angry. And I'm like, oh, this girl is a mess. See, she is a trip. So anyway, then he gave her some kind of handshake, because he was like, oh, we still good. And then the friend was like, you better give me that same handshake. And then Swaazy was basically over it. He stormed off, and then Katie was like, no, you really gonna do this right now? You really got to be this mad? Like, girl, you push his buttons and then you wonder why he mad? Like, girl. And I really liked Swaazy and Katie together, but now I'm just like, girl, bye to both of them. So anyway, Swaazy basically was like, he ain't putting up with this mess right now. He out of here. I forgot what he said, but he cursed. So anyway, so then he was out of there, right? So then let's move on to, Samson and Charisse's thing. That really wasn't nothing happened over there. Charisse's friend, I forgot the friend name. She's a very pretty lady in a yellow dress. they looked like they were at Sharice's house. I liked the setting of theirs better. Seemed way more relaxed and comfortable than some of the other dates also. Maybe because it was just Sharice and one guy and not a bunch of guys and, you know, all this kind of stuff going on and not a restaurant. So anyway, they cheersed in the kitchen. And so, you know, they all just sitting on the sofa. The friend asked Samson, what does he feel? She want to check his temperature, what he feels about the process so far. Like, what is his hopes to get out of it? And so he said he wants to get married. You know, he does want a long-term relationship. He wants to get married. And she was like, oh, okay. So, like, what makes you say that? What makes you want to get married now? He's like, you know how old I am? Because, you know, Samson 48. You look good, though. You look good looking 48, Samson, okay? Because I know you watching this video. Hey, Samson. So, anyway, and so he said, you know, he's just time. So they're like, oh, you been out there keeping the sauce, you know? And he's like, well, I ain't been keeping the sauce. So they made a little joke about that. And so seemed like they were all vibing, having a good time. Samson left. And so the girl said, you know, she really likes him for her. And she feels like he's ready to love. And her and Sharice got really excited about, you know, Sharice possibly finding love in this process. And hopefully, you know, things work out for Sharice and Samson. If it's meant to be, I do wish them the best. I'm not sure, just because the way Sharice's temperament is, I don't know if that will be really a good match, but we shall see. And maybe it is, because Samson's very even killer, Sharice is up here, so I don't know. That doesn't always work, but I don't know. Anyway, then let's go on to Tranika's date with LJ, Justice, and Randall, right? So we see Tranika and her two friends, and she introduced her friends so well. Jessica is the pilot. Hey, Jessica. Because she was retweeting me. We was tweeting. Okay, I got to write her back. So anyway, and then is it Dr. Kim or Dr. Jeanette? Shout out to the doctor friend also. So anyway, look like they brought some food down over there too to play Top Golf or whatever they was playing. So anyway, I think LJ was the first one to arrive, and so they were sitting down asking LJ different questions, and they were asking him, no, they had a whole little question cards ready. They was ready to grill him. And so then LJ, was it at that part or the end when LJ said he ready to get barbecued? I think it was the end. So anyway, they were asking him, like, you know, is Tranika somebody, you know, she could really fall for you and put her trust in you? And he's like, yes, of course. He wants to be that for her. I'm thirsty, y'all. All this talking. So then they asked him, where does he see himself in the next 5 years? He said, a millionaire, you know, traveling. He want to have Tranika by his side with him traveling and doing his thing, making money. And then they asked him if he would be wanting to get married again. Because, you know, LJ has been married before. And so he said he is open to it, but of course it has to be the right person. So then they decided to go out and play some golf. Excuse me, guys. And so was it Dr. Jeanette, or was it the doctor, or was it the pilot who broke the stick? That was kind of funny. So then Mr. Justice comes. Every time Justice speaks, I just can't. So he came up and he was like, yeah, you know, I'm looking forward to this date and I'll vibe with the ladies, you know, the friends, you know, if they on some spiritual stuff, it'd be good. If they on some like grilling, hard question stuff or some hate stuff, it's not going to be good. If they about love, it's going to be good. So I'm just like, okay, Justice. So then they were like talking to him, asking him, you know, how he's doing and where does he see himself in the next 5 years. So they was trying to ask him the same questions they was asking LJ, but it wasn't working out. So they're like, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? He's like, I don't. And they're like, what do you mean? He's like, you know, I don't do that. Like he was saying before that, I don't know what was he a player? I think they asked him, was he a player? Let me back up. They asked him, was he a player or something like that? And he said, you know, he used to be a cheater. He used to be a player. He played professional basketball and he was living that lifestyle and he's not trying to be about that anymore. You know, been there, done that. I didn't know he played professional ball. I don't wonder what team. I'm very curious to know what team did he play for. So anyway, if y'all know it, drop it in the comments, please. So then they asked him about the 5-year thing and he said he don't know where he gonna be in the next 5 years. It's up to God. He said he just gonna do whatever God tell him to do. It's what he gonna do. He walking by faith, not by sight. He letting the Lord lead him. lead him. He letting the Lord lead him. Okay. Then he had the nerves to quote Jeremiah 29:11, I believe it is, right? For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a new future. I don't know what translation is. Y'all can look it up for yourself, though. Okay, know your word for yourself. Okay. So anyway, now everybody love them from Jeremiah 29:11. Okay, that is our verse. We put it on the wall. We put it on our cup. We put it down to the office. What you not gonna do, Justice, is play in our good Bible to explain your BS on this show. What you not gonna do, Justice, is play in our good Bible. What you not gonna do, okay? Don't be quoting Jeremiah 29:11 up on here to explain why you full of it. Don't do that. So anyway, they was like, okay. And so then, they were talking and vibing and all that. Then Randall came. Okay, he came in another pair of shorts. Okay, but these were some different shorts than the other hoochie daddies he came with Jamala in. But he was looking good though, but he came with a big old bright fuchsia shirt on. I don't know about that shirt. But anyway, and so they was talking to Randall. They was like, oh, so we don't know how you been kissing and stuff. And they was like, maybe. Talking about, Tranika and Randall. So they was all vibing. And Justin was like, this group date turned me off from Tranika. And I'm not here for this group date stuff. Like, a woman, I'm not about to, chase after you. And you say, oh, you take me away from this other man. Like, I'm not about to do that. Like, you want me to be with you. You need to come to me. Bye, Justice. Be gone. So anyway, he left. So then all the men left, and the ladies was talking. They was like, we don't like Justice. They pulled Tranika in close. They was like, girl, listen up. We don't like Justice. He is full of bullshit. Okay? They was like, they called him another name. What did they call him? A Jeepers Creepers? I forgot what they called him. Anyway, they was like, no, we can smell the bullshit a mile away. We don't like him. The one friend was at the doctor or the pilot. She was like, I can feel it in my spirit. My whole body tells me. She's like, girl, he ain't the one. He ain't the one. When she said that, she was led by the spirit. Okay? Now, she was led by the Lord, not Justice. Okay? She was led by the Lord. She said she could feel in her body, her whole body. Justice wasn't the one for her, for Tranika. And she ain't lying, okay? We all feel it, okay? We all feel it. So anyway, they was like, they like Randall, but they not sure because he be flirting. He got the connections. They really like LJ for Tranika, okay? So then let's move on to Kayla's date. Kayla was meeting her friend. Was it Kelly? I think her friend's name was Kelly. Anyway, and she was meeting with Mike and Randall, okay? So this is Randall's date number 3. This time he came with another pair of hoochie daddy shorts. These was really hoochie daddy. These was like jean shorts. But let me back up to the beginning of the day. Then we'll get to Randall, right? So anyway, she said she really liking Mike, but she don't know. She like Randall, but she don't know. So Mike came. He was like, okay, I want to drink whatever y'all drink it. They're like, we drink a Pinot Grigio. And then he was like, y'all drinking what? There's a Pinot Grigio. He was like, y'all drinking what? And then he was trying to say, he couldn't say Pinot Grigio. I'm like, he ain't got no culture. So anyway, then, they was talking, and so the girl was asking him, like, what he likes about Kayla and their connection, and how he feels about her. And he was like, I like her, but the thing is, she got connection with other men, and she been kissing on other men, and I'm not sure where this is going because she got these other men, and every time I look at her face, I just see the other men that she has kissed. I see Zoe, I see the other one that's probably gonna come and sit right here. I'm like, Mike, really? Really? Like, the more Mike talks, the more he is unattractive. Like, what are you talking about? We're on a dating show. We're all looking for love. We all liking each other, kissing each other, dating each other. You didn't slob down Brandy. Didn't he slobber down at the picnic, y'all? And if he didn't slobber down there, he didn't slobber down somewhere else we ain't seen. So how dare you come at Kayla for have kissed a couple people on the show? How dare you, sir? Like, get over yourself, please. So anyway, he done pissed me off, y'all. So anywho, he's just over there like not making any sense at all. And so then they're like what? Like Kayla's like, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he crazy. And so then Randall came, right? So he came, like I say, he came with the jean hoochie daddy shorts or something. But they wasn't really hoochie daddy. They was like appropriate length. I have an issue with jean shorts on men sometimes, y'all, to be honest, but they be cool, I guess. So anywho, then, you know, Randall was saying, you know, so Kelly was asking about Randall and all that, and Randall was saying, you know, we just haven't had time to connect. We need more time to connect. Like, we haven't had a lot of one-on-one time together, only the one date. Kayla's like, yeah, we don't have the one date, and Randall just feels like their time together just keeps getting interrupted, and they just need more time to really build that connection. The girl asked about his other connections, and she was like, out of all your other connections, is Kayla the strongest? And he was like, she is one of them. Now, I took it the first time I watched it as him kind of like answering without answering it directly, like basically she one of my connections, but she ain't the strongest. But then the second time I watched it, I was like, well, maybe he mean like she up there with Jamala as one of the strongest. I don't know. How did y'all take that calm answer he said about Kayla being one of his strongest connections? So anyway, and then Mike was saying something like, see, is this guy right here, she is one of the ones she, you know, the lips have been on, so I don't really know. Like, Mike, shut the hell up, please. Okay? So anyway, the men left. So Kelly was like, you know, like, I really see your connection with Randall. Like, I see you really, really like Mike, but Randall's what you need. Like, the whole time Randall was looking at you, I was staring in his eyes, he was looking at you, but you was just busy looking at Mike. Oh, and side note, y'all, Randall said that, like, once he got there, he could see that Kayla was really, really uncomfortable sitting there in front of Mike and him together. And so, yeah. So then Kayla started crying when her friend said that. And I felt Kayla's pain because, you know, you like that one dude because of looks and certain personality things that you know he's no good for you. But you should be liking the other guy that's probably going to be better for you. But you want to like the one that's not so good for you. You know, we've all been there, right, ladies? And I'm sure men have been there with women as well. So Kayla kind of broke down crying. And her friends like, I don't want you to cry, girl. You know, I just want you to be happy. And so Kayla knows that, like, she's like, I feel connected with both of them. And I don't know which way to go. But I'm like, girl, Mike ain't it. I feel like Mike is playing a game with Kayla. He's playing all in her face. This is what Mike is doing. Mike is trying to stay on the show. And I think him and Brandy decided, hey, let's date other people to look like we both interested, but we're going to make sure we stay on the show, make it to the end, is what I personally think. Because now why is all of a sudden Brandy, you know, vibing with Samson? Where did that come from? Because I don't see it, okay? I really don't see it. So I think they're just trying to play the long game and use other people to play, you know, to play on the show. Kind of like Joey and Clifton did last season. That's just my opinion. But I don't think Mike is sexually attracted to Kayla, like physically attracted to her, yes. But does he see himself choosing her at the end? No, he's going to choose Brandy, right? I think he's just using Kayla to keep other connections on the show. And then he's also holding the whole, like, Randall and her kissing other people against her. So that's his easy out to not choose Kayla. And it's just like, we don't even care, Mike. Like, go on and be with Brandy. It's not that deep, sir. It's really not. So anyway, anywho, I don't know who else Kayla gonna like besides Randall, but we gonna see, right? So anyway, let's see who else's date we got to get to, y'all. Okay, let's get to Brandy. So Brandy went on a date with Samson and Mike. So Brandy's friend, what's her name? Dakota, I don't know, but she has some red braids in her hair. Okay. So anyway, I think Samson came on a date first and he brought some tulips. And then him and Brandy had this awkward moment where they was trying to hug each other, but then they had a little kiss on the lips, but it was an accident. And Brandy's like, ooh, like she wasn't intending to kiss him on the lips. I think Samson was intending to kiss her on the lips, though. I don't really know. Samson, drop it in the comments. Would you try to kiss that Brandy on the lips or not? So anyway, then they was like, ooh, and Brandy was like, yeah, somehow our lips accidentally touched each other and we kissed. And Samson was making a joke to it, like, you know, the two lips or the two lips. And, you know, that was funny. It was just an awkward, funny moment. So anyway, they were sitting and talking, and the girl, I guess, was asking Samson what he liked about Brandy or how much he liked her or something. And Samson was saying, like, you know, how he really likes her. And then he was like, do you know this, Brandy? And then she was like, no, I really haven't heard it from you. And he was like, let me tell you, like, of course, I want to get to know you more. Like, yes, I want to get more than want to get to know you. I want to be with you. I want to do this. And now he's like, because you stand out. So then in the confessional, Brandy was like, yeah, I didn't really know he liked me, like, on a physical level. Like, he's always trying to get into my mind and heart. So that was really surprising to me. Now, that perplexed me about Brandy, because wouldn't you want a man to like you for more than your physical? Like, I feel like for me, like, I'm always wanting a man to like me for more than just my looks. Like, yeah, I like my looks, but, you know, get into my mind and heart. So it's just funny to me that she wanted more of a physical attraction from him to know that he liked her. That was just very, very interesting and telling to me of why she hasn't had successful relationships. Okay, so anyway, I can see what maybe she's not looking for the right things in men. As my personal opinion, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. So anyway, the friend was like the Samson, but then Mike came, right? And Mike brought a gift for the friend. So I said, Mike been taking us from Samson, right? So then the friend was asking, you know, you like being a dad? And he's like, he did. She's like, are you ready to be a father with with Brandy's child? So the friend trying to help her get pregnant. So anyway, he was like, yes, I'm open to children. That's a red flag, Brandy. He is not. He gonna get with that lady and say, I said I'm open to, but I'm not about to have no more kids with you. Excuse me, guarantee it. Guarantee it. Then, you know, everybody sitting there talking to Ben left. So then the friend was like, girl, I was going to say Samson no one, but then Mike came. Then I was like, nah, but wait a minute. I don't know. Like, basically the friend was like, girl, I can't decide. I like them both for you. Like, she said, I really like them both. And I really like Samson for you. She's like, I like him too. Brandy said she liked him. I don't know, girl. Anyway, so Brandy said her friend left her more confused. She can't really pick now. She gonna pick Mike. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Who else's date we got to get to, y'all? Then we had Looney and her friend Ebony, I believe, went on a date with LJ and Justice. So I think Justice was like the first to arrive, and they started asking him about sex, and he was like, oh yeah, I am sex. You know, I just look at you and it's sex, and I could, you know, make it happen, all this stuff. I'm like, what are you even talking about, Justice? So then LJ came. He said he felt like he was at a disadvantage because Justice was there first, and he got to make up for the time. And so they immediately started asking LJ about sex, and he was like, dang, y'all get straight to the point. He's like, well, you know, I'm from the islands. You know, we just kind of exude the sex. You know, we got to, you know, get it popping and all that. And so then, seemed like they might have been talking about some spiritual stuff. I don't know. Justice was talking about he's an event planner. And so the girl's like, oh, you do weddings? I got a wedding coming up. And they're talking about all these different things. Nothing really happening. Justice talking to us in circles, okay? So anyway, and honestly, I don't even remember everything they said in that part. So moving on, Justice and LJ left, right? And so then the girl was like, I like LJ, but I think you could walk all over him. He's more like a friendly vibe. I really like Justice for you. I'm like, really? Really? And so they both was like, yeah, girl, Justice is the one. They was like all bigging it up. Like, yeah, Justice is it, girl. Yeah. I didn't get any love connections at that table whatsoever. It just felt like everybody was just like, it felt like a friend homie vibe. The date with Looney, her friend, Justice, and LJ felt like a big old friend homie vibe, the whole table, okay? It was like a waste of time, in my opinion. Okay, so anyway, let's get down to the ladies' lounge, right? I think we didn't cover it all today. So, down to the ladies' lounge, right? All the women come in. Brandy says she got to get her a drink. She got to wet her whistle because, you know, Tommy going to be asking the questions. He going to be wanting to talk, and she going to be parched. She going to be prepared to speak. Okay, that's why I'm drinking my crystal geyser of water. Okay. So anywho, Tommy was asking about the dates. Jamala said it felt, you know, her date with Raw. It felt like very much at home. He said that was his best friend. They really vibed and her friends liked him. Sharice talked about her date with Samson, how they had a good time and, you know, building that connection. Brandy talked about her date with, Mike and Samson and how her friend couldn't choose between Samson or Mike. and just left her more confused. But nephew Tommy said, well, which one are you feeling most? She said Mike is her ultimate connection, of course. I wish she would have held that information though. I like when they kind of say, I'm still deciding. I like that. Now, that's one thing I like Sabrina did last season. Even though we gave Sabrina a lot of mess last season for some of her decisions when it came to Donovan and Tori and Demetrius. One thing I did like Sabrina did is she kept it close to her. She never let everybody know who she was going to pick and who was in her top. She really didn't fully let the ladies know. So I kind of wish Brandy wouldn't have fully let the ladies know. Also, kind of kept them guessing, but that's just my opinion. So anywho, then let's see. Kayla talked about her date with Mike and Randall, and her friend said that Randall, even though Mike is the guy she wanted, Randall's like the guy she needed, basically, right? And then I think we had got to everybody. Oh, Tranika was talking, Tranika. I don't know why I want to call her Tranika. Tranika was talking about her dates and how they said that Randall, they're not really sure, he might be, playing the field still. LJ, they feel like it's a better match for her. And they said that Justice was not it. They was like, you need to run for the hills. He's a joker. They called him a joker. That's what they called him. They called him a joker. So anyway, they can smell the BS a mile away, she said. So anyway, then they got to Katie, and so next time was like, Katie, you're in the hot seat. So then she was like, yeah, I introduced my friend to Swaazy, and everything got heated. They had a heated exchange, and she was laughing and smiling right there. I'm like, girl, what's funny about it? So then she was like, I don't really want to talk about it here until me and him talk about it. So I'm like, oh, I know Miss Katie, and I ain't over here trying to hold some water when this lady was spilling everybody's tea every episode, talking all out of turn, but when it comes to your business, you ain't gonna talk out of turn, Miss Katie. And okay, girl. And I like Katie, but some stuff she do, all stuff she do, I'll be like, girl, like, what are you doing? Stop it. So anyway, then Neff Tommy was, and so then Katie was saying something about red flags. So Neff Tommy was like, well, what are the red flags? And she said, well, I'm not going to talk about anything until me and Swaazy have our talk, and I'm going to let you know, because I don't really want to talk about anything of the red flags until me and Swaazy have our talk. So I was like, girl, what? So then Sharice is like, well, I talked to him that night. He called me. I was like, oh, no, not Sharice called. He called her. So then I knew Katie was pissed at that moment. And she was like, yeah, he was so mad. And she was like, how could you say that to me? Like, my daughter's like, my mom's like, how could you say that? That's not true. And then in Sharice's confession, she's like, yeah, Swaazy called me. He was very upset. And she was like, well, was she drinking? And Swaazy's like, yeah, she was drinking. And they was like, yeah, because she get catty when she be drinking. I was like, oh, y'all did not throw this lady under the bus. Like, but Katie kind of reaped what she sowed, right? So anyway, that was funny to me. So then, Katie was like, well, since he already talked to you about it, I can just say it now. And so then next time was like, oh, so this is a red flag. So then next time just trying to get it, put the bottle in. So then Katie was explaining how Swaazy said, in the last few years, he has only dated Latin women. He hasn't dated any black women. And so next time was like, for real? Like, he was taking it back. And then Katie was talking about how he left the date and said he ain't putting up with this BS. Whatever Swaazy said when he left the date. This is some, a-hole mess, whatever he said. So then Nephew Tommy was like, oh, okay. And so then, but I don't think that Nephew Tommy didn't like hearing about that only black woman thing. You could tell he was not happy with that. So then Katie was like, okay, so then next time I asked, like, who are y'all not feeling? And so Katie was like, I'll still say my strongest connection with Swaazy until we have our discussion, and then I'll let you know. So then I'm like, girl, I guess. Noonie was like, well, I'm not feeling Swaazy. Like, he don't be calling me. There's no connection there. And then after what I heard tonight, and so especially you said he only want to date black women. Katie was like, he didn't say that for sure. I don't know if he said that for sure. And I'm like, girl, you said he said it. So what is it? And so then she's like, well, I'm not going to just judge him on that. It's everything else too. So then, Brandy says LJ's just a homie. Jamala agreed. LJ's just a homie. I think somebody else said LJ's just a friend too. Sharice said it. That's why he was in the bottom. And then they're talking about Justice. Brandy's like, he want women to chase him, and we are not about to be chasing him. Tranika was like, yeah, my friend was like, you need to run for the hills when it comes to Justice. he is a joker. He's full of it. And so Kayla's like, we didn't need your friends to tell us. Like, girl, we know. And so then Looney was like, dang, like, just because y'all not feeling him, like, dang, that's what she had confessional. So I'm like, Looney, are you really feeling Justice? Really? Like, really? So anywho, okay, everybody deliberated. Tommy's like, you guys gotta take these men out and tell them what's going on. So basically, Justice and LJ's in the bottom too. Now, Justice is happy to go on his date with Kayla. He's like, me and Kayla never been on a date, so I'm super excited. She called me up, invited me out. LJ, he get the process. You see, Justice ain't even paying attention. He don't even know he in a hot seat date, right? So LJ, he pays attention because he done been on the other side several times, so he know what's up. So he's like, anytime you go on a date after the women have their deliberations, it's not good. So he's like, I already know I'm ready to get barbecued, but you gotta take it in stride. I said, not the barbecue, Joe. He's ready to get roasted. So anywho, Looney was like, hey, LJ, the ladies feel like, you are very nice, you're sweet, you're caring, but they're getting a really friend vibe from you, and they're not really sure. And she was like, I know me and you are vibing and stuff, but I'm not really sure, if it's just a friend vibe. Also, side note, I forgot to mention, when the date with Looney and Justice and her friend, LJ was like, you don't even be calling me back, Looney. So Looney ain't that interested in LJ either. So anywho, then LJ was like, okay, I get it. Like, he needs to show more of his intentions. He gonna step it up. So then, I'm not gonna do the back and forth of scenes. Basically, she was like prolonging it. So basically, the lady said, you all ready for love? And he's like, oh my God, you scared me. You can be dragged out like that. Like, she was kind of teasing him about it. And so he said he gonna, step up his intentions with the ladies. Now, back over there to Kayla and Justice's day. So Kayla was like, what do you feel? You need to be doing different. I don't know. Remember what she asked him, actually. I don't know if that's what she said. But anywho, I don't want to make up stuff that didn't happen. So she asked him something, and he was like, yeah, I know I could call more, but that's not really my thing. Like, I'm not about to go after a woman, and that's not really how my process works. Like, he said he feels like a woman needs to, if she wants him, he needs to set herself up to receive that man, to be in her life, and all this. I'm just like, what? And then Kayla's like, well, I prefer the man to call me, to pursue me, and that's what, I want. And so then Justice is like, well, why is that okay for you and it's not okay for me to want what I want? And she's like, that's just the way it is. And that is the way it is. Men are pursuers. They are hunters. They're gatherers. Like, that's what your natural order of things is. Justice, like, what are you talking about, sir? Like Brandy said, she is the prize, not you. Oh yeah, as a man, he can be a king, he'll be a prize in his own right, but it's not all about you, sir. So anyway, Kayla was saying the ladies feel like, you are difficult, they want to be pursued, they don't want you, seems like you want to be chased. And so she basically let him know you're not ready for love, and she's like, I wish you the best in life. I wish things could have been different. And so Justin was like, oh, it's all good, it's cool. And he's like, I'm at the Hard Rock every Sunday. She's like, okay. And confessional, Kayla's like, no, sir. Like, I don't want to hear him talk about himself no more. I will not be coming to visit him down to the Hard Rock. And I don't blame her. I wouldn't either. And so, Justice, like, he didn't really care. He was like, he can't live his life based on other people's opinions. And he felt like the women were projecting their own issues on him. And all that stuff they were saying was really on them, and he's just happy to be out the process. I'm just like, goodbye, Justice. We're happy to see you leave the process. Bye-bye, Justice. Okay. Anyway, y'all let me know what y'all thought of the episode. I thought it was really, really good. Hope y'all enjoyed the episode and this review. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. And then I will hopefully see y'all tomorrow night or Sunday afternoon for Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all know they coming back tomorrow night, and Family or Fiance. Again, don't forget to hit that subscribe and that share, like button, comment down below what y'all thought of the episode. Talk to y'all soon.